Hey, it's Smoke Sammy, and today I'm shaming some more weddings. Red flags of a narcissistic groomzilla. 3 years ago, my sister got married. It only lasted 4 months as her ex-husband was a narcissistic groomzilla from hell. Nice. A little backstory to set the stage. My sister lived overseas for 18 months doing a church mission trip. While she was there, she met her ex-husband. Let's call him A-hole. A-hole was obsessed with my sister, following her around and love-bombing her. She was not interested, a fact that she told him several times. When they both returned to the States, A-hole decided to leave his college and move across the country to the school my sister was attending, in the same dorm block. Red flag number 1. He constantly asked her out, and she constantly said no. Finally, after months of rejecting him, she caved and went on a date. After the first date, A-hole completely ghosted her for 6 months. Red flag number 2. My sister had never had a boyfriend and was extremely introverted growing up, so of course she started obsessing over him and why he disappeared after one date. She went through a period of depression before finally starting to feel better. That was when A-hole suddenly popped back up saying, let's just be friends. So many red flags. Don't you love that? When guys just, make you feel all bad, and then the moment you feel better, it's like they know and they're like, all right, time to go back in. I told her he was manipulating her into feeling like she needed him, but she didn't listen. Within a month, A-hole proposed and she said yes. After one date, my sister did not want a huge wedding. She hated crowds and being the center of attention. She wanted only immediate family at an intimate ceremony and maybe a dinner to follow. This is when she found out that A-hole was a groomzilla. Wow, are we really surprised though? Based on how everything else is going, he told her that he had been planning his wedding since he was a little boy, red flag, and wanted a huge ceremony. His mom pulled out his wedding binder and began planning the wedding my sister didn't want. Anytime my sister told him to back off of all the over-the-top planning, A-hole would cry and want to have a days-long conversation about his feelings. I don't want to invalidate people, but this is a little much. It's so invalidating of the sister. And it's very manipulative too. She finally just gave in to let him have his dream wedding. The week leading up to the wedding, we were all staying in the city they were attending school, both ours and his immediate family. After almost every planned event, A-hole would cry and throw a temper tantrum if it didn't go as planned, and my sister questioned her decision up until the day of the wedding. Only now you start questioning this? He wanted cake. She hates cake, so they had cake. She wanted a beach wedding. He wanted a rustic wedding. They got married in the mountains. She wanted her favorite flowers. His mom canceled them and got his favorite flowers. She wanted a less traditional song to walk down the aisle to. He changed the music last minute to the song from Twilight. She wanted the first dance. His mom cut in and made sure she had the first dance instead. That's not how that works. Why would you have the first dance with your mother? What was worse is that he made my parents pay for his wedding. I can go into details of it, but that would make a long story into a saga. Long story short, they got married, and 4 months later, he disappears and has his mom serve her with divorce papers. Apparently, he decided to come out and had a secret boyfriend that he left her for. Edit post to say he made her drop out of school and get a job because his career path was more important, so he needed to solely focus on that and not work. Edit 2, his mom told her she was going to move in with them for the first year to help her out. Thankfully, she put her foot down on that crazy mother-in-law. At least she put her foot down for something, because what did I just read? What was all of that? And for what? 4 months? He clearly didn't like her from the get-go. At least it only lasted 4 months, I guess, and not 4 years. But, wow. Wow. Dropped out of Bridezilla's bridal party and never spoke to her again. So a few years ago, I became good friends with a girl, let's call her Amy. I met Amy through my childhood best friend. I'll call her Samantha. Oh, that's my name. Eventually, Amy got engaged, and at the time, I was unemployed. She knew this, but she told me she wanted to ask me to be her maid of honor. I told her I definitely would. It would be a lot, but I would make it work, based on what I mentioned I was going through. A few days later, she let me know she was actually going to ask another friend of hers to be maid of honor instead, since I didn't answer happy or enthusiastic enough about being asked. It felt weird, but I let it go. That was the first of many red flags. She wanted to have the bridal party there for her dress try-on at a shop 2 hours away. Samantha and I drove up together, and the rest of the party drove together in a separate car. During the entire process, Amy was miserable, hated every dress, complained, etc. The party was very supportive, but she wasn't having it. So the new maid of honor asked, "Do you want some of us to leave?" Which me and Samantha were the only ones who didn't drive up with the group. Amy said yes, that too many people were there. So me and Samantha agreed to leave. We were meant to get lunch after, but Amy said she didn't want to go anywhere. We later found out that they actually did go without us, drove 2 hours for nothing. I'm already so upset for you. Why even invite you? A day after that ordeal, she got angry with the maid of honor because in the bridal party group chat, she teased Amy about the dress try-on going awry by sending a zoomed-in photo of Amy's face with a grumpy frown. Amy decided to demote her as maid of honor because she was so offended by it. She asked another member of the party to step up, her sister. Well, a few weeks later, her sister got so overwhelmed that she let Amy know she could no longer do it. Amy comes crawling back to me saying how embarrassed she is that she doesn't have a maid of honor, and I foolishly agree to be it again. Amy decides she wants her bachelorette party to be a long weekend away in an expensive Airbnb in another state, and demands we all pay her way, including all the activities, outings, restaurants she wanted to do over the span of 3 days. That's such a long time. 3 days. I mean, I guess that's really fun to a lot of people, so I don't want to say anything negative about that, but I'm just so lazy. I just don't want to do anything. So just come over one night and we'll paint and get high or something, and that will be great. That's what I want to do for my bachelorette party. I was so stressed about affording it, but I scrapped some money together. The trip was horrible and was a lot of Amy bossing us around or complaining about what we were doing wrong. Me and Samantha finally had enough and decided to speak with her about how we felt after the trip ended. She handled the discussion badly and it turned into a full-blown fight, but we were able to settle down and apologize to one another. But later that night, I received a phone call from Amy's mother, who I've met maybe twice. This woman is twice my age, and she starts going off about how me and Samantha are horrible people for ruining Amy's trip, and if it happens again, we are not welcome at the wedding. I texted Amy and asked her what the hell is up with her mom calling me. I was really perturbed and uncomfortable by the interaction. No surprise, but Amy sides with her mother. Well, who would have thought? Telling me she's right for saying all of that. Well, I couldn't take it anymore. I told her that I had to go drop out of the wedding and honestly the friendship too. How can I even continue showing up when her mother and her clearly feel this contempt for me? She tried to send me a nasty message in the morning after, but I ignored it. I haven't spoken to her since. It's been over a year and the wedding happened without me and Samantha. No regrets, TBH. Samantha would occasionally check a Google Doc we were still privy to that Amy had created with info about the wedding, and we found she changed maid of honors 2 more times, and that, after that. LOL, yikes. Yeah, yikes is right. How? She went through 5 maids of honor, anyway. I wish the best of luck to Amy's now husband. And this was for the best because wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. That's a lot of maids of honor. I don't think I have that many friends. But honestly, given how the mom called OP and said all that, I start to see how maybe Amy got to be the way she is. Horrible guest stories. I recently got married a few months ago, and I like to share some of the most annoying guest things I either noticed myself or something else told me about later. Number 1. One of my mother-in-law's best friends from childhood wore all white, stark white, head to toe, even the shoes. Listen, I normally think it's ridiculous to give an F about some middle-aged woman's wardrobe, but since wearing white to a wedding is such a known faux pas, it makes me wonder if she was trying to slight me. Very odd. We have no issues and barely know each other, and my mother-in-law and I are extremely close. One of my friends who was a little too tipsy went up to the woman in white and asked why she thought it would be appropriate to wear white to a wedding. The woman snapped, "I've known the groom since he was in diapers. I can wear whatever I want." My friend said, "That still doesn't answer my question. LOL. The woman said, "Well, my mom said it was fine." WTF? Her mom is 90? Yeah, what the fuck? My mom said it was okay. Does your mom know where you're going, or did you just ask her how you looked? 2. I had a formal winter wedding. All guests saw the dress code on the invite. My aunt showed up wearing Uggs. Uggs. Lots of people were in light wash jeans and casual sweaters, including the photographer who knew the dress code. Would black pants or at least a skirt have killed anybody? The whole night just had a much more casual feel than what I was going for. That is unfortunate. I am afraid of that happening to my wedding. I'm not like engaged yet or anything, but like, if I want like there to be a nice dress code, would it be unreasonable for me to be like, excuse me, please go change? Like, probably, but that would bother me a lot. 3, I had an unplugged ceremony, announcement and everything, and people still whipped out their phones. This one makes my blood boil. Also, we did allow young children, so it is what it is, but someone's kid fell and scraped their forehead during the ceremony. Why were they running around during the ceremony? I mean, maybe the kid just fell over. I don't know. They should be sitting. How do you just fall if you're just sitting? And instead of excusing themselves and their child, this person decided to stay while their kids screamed bloody murder the whole reception. Can't you just excuse yourself? Honestly, like, I'm also surprised that nobody else asked this person to leave. Why was everybody just collectively, like, a bad guest? 4, my uncle was an a-hole. Him and I are not close and haven't seen each other in a long time. He had never met my husband. The first thing out of his mouth to my husband was, well, I sure hope your vows were good because I couldn't hear a single word from where I was sitting. I almost went up there myself and shoved the mic closer to your face. Okay, maybe if the baby wasn't screaming, they would have been heard. WTF, we had a giant wedding and he tried to monopolize our time the whole reception. We tried to avoid him, but if you dared glance in his direction, he'd aggressively beckon us over and got all butthurt that we didn't comply. I'm sorry, but there were so many people that it was a feat in itself to even say hello to everyone, let alone spend the entire reception with uncle entitlement. What a doucher. 5, my grandmother-in-law came up to us mid-reception. During the 2 minutes I had to actually eat some food, complaining about seating arrangements. She didn't like that we had a head table and didn't sit with the bridal party. I was starving and kind of snapped at her. The bridal party was happy to sit with their +1s and families at guest tables instead of sitting at some horizontal bridal party table where no one is facing each other. It's also their wedding, like, who cares? I don't know, just sit where your little spot is and call it a day. Like 6, at the end of the night, our best man, who was so polite and respectful, rounded everyone up to line up for a grand exit. We had to exit the venue at a specific time. At this point, the DJ had announced last calls multiple times and stated that the night is over. Some older guests were parked at the guest tables, refusing to get up when we were literally asked to vacate by a certain time. They were chatting, pouring wine, and ignoring the best man. He clapped his hands and said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask that you follow me. We have to leave the venue. And the woman yelled at him, don't you dare clap your hands in my face, young man. He was floored. I could keep going. I think I'd like to do an edition with the ways my vendors messed up too. I'd love to hear thoughts, reactions, and your own stories. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm really sorry this person dealt with this because I would be crying a lot. Forced to wear revealing bridesmaid's dress. I miss the days when bridesmaids were treated like people and not like stage props. My future sister-in-law is getting married, and so of course I'm a default bridesmaid. She didn't give us options for the dress. She picked it out and told us it's the one that we'll be wearing. The dress is a strapless, backless, thigh-slit halter neck. I'm a larger girl, triple D chest should explain why I don't wear backless or halter styles. Backless means I can't wear any form of support bra, and there is virtually no shapewear I can put underneath it. The only bras that work are stickies or tape, which do not hold me up in the least. I get it's the bride's wedding, and then the bridesmaid should wear what makes the bride happy, but like, don't make them uncomfortable. And I just have a feeling that because this person has such a full chest, it's gonna be a little distracting, and the bride will get angry, even though she's doing exactly what the bride is asking. I try the dress on, my chest is spilling out the sides, back rolls are on full blast, and I'm popping out of this thing every which way. I'm so uncomfortable. I basically told the bride, sorry, I know it's your big day, but there's no way I'm wearing this dress. My body shape is different from the rest of the bridal party, and I can't justify wearing it. I told her I'd be fine if I can simply modify it to be more conservative at the back and chest. She declined and told me to just be more confident in myself because all the dresses must be identical for photos. I have no body confidence issues. There are plenty of styles that suit my figure. It just so happens that this dress was not made for larger women and does not look appropriate on my body. I want to drop out of the wedding, but my family insists I stay because it's my sister-in-law and I would ruin the wedding and the relationship. I don't get why I should have to be paraded around in front of my entire family, extended family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, etc. in an outfit that makes me uncomfortable. It's just getting ridiculous. Brides, please have enough tact to make sure your girls are comfortable on your special day. We're humans, not props. Update. First of all, thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate your helpful advice and suggestions. On that note, I've decided to stay in the wedding and avoid sending my mother to an early grave. However, I've also decided I'll be wearing the shit out of this dress and making sure the center of attention is not on the lovely bride. I tried to resolve the issue with tact in class and was shot down, so I feel I've earned the right to be petty. I'm going to order some really specific shapewear which can be concealed under what little material this dress has. I'll be going full side boob, full shimmer added on the exposed back, and full body oil on the legs for the thigh slit. I'll be doing an updo on the hair so there's nothing getting in my way of the dress. I'll be wearing a shawl for everything else. But trust that for the ceremony, I'll be looking like Salma Hayek in Dusk Till Dawn. Let's see what she thinks about this body confidence she asked me to find. Girl, please. If anyone is curious, I'll most likely come back in May to post my pics. Good for you. That's exactly what she asked you to do. And if you're comfortable doing it, then slay, queen. Slay. All right, last story. Got fired as a bridesmaid because my dad has cancer. So one of my friends from childhood got engaged and asked me to be a bridesmaid. We used to be very close in middle school and high school, but I moved away for college and I still live out of state. We stay in touch electronically, but we only see each other once a year at the most. Anyway, I enthusiastically said yes. Well, last month my dad was diagnosed with cancer. Since I told her, she hasn't called me once to check on how I'm doing or how he's doing. He's had 2 surgeries and just started a round of chemo and radiation. She texted me the other day saying we need to plan the bachelorette party and figure out who's coming. I'm thinking Cabo. I told her I was really sorry, but I have a lot going on with my dad and I can't really think about planning a beach vacation right now. She left me on red, and the next morning she texted, this is verbatim, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, and I need to put myself and my wedding first. I will always have love for you, but with that being said, I'm going to have to go a different way with my wedding party. I'm just thinking right now we both need different things and we both need to accept that and move forward accordingly." So like she fired me and maybe uninvited me, I don't know, because my dad has cancer. And she phrased it as though I was her employee and not her friend, and over a text, not even a phone call. Well, clearly she doesn't think of me as a friend. What is up with all these people not having any compassion for other individuals? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, sure, but like, cancer, family emergency, you only have like one dad, like that is also more important than this, and she should be more understanding. At least fucking check on your friend and her dad. Jesus, what a bitch. I noticed like a lot of these things are, oh, I knew this person from childhood, but like, you know, knowing someone for a long time, I am learning more and more like every year is not a reason to keep being their friend anymore. All right, well, that was all I was gonna do for today. If you like this content, subscribe, like, do all that great stuff. I'm gonna try to post every day. I didn't post yesterday, but I'm gonna do it every day when I can. So, yep, that's about it. Bye.